It is February and we are back with our final review of a January 25 release. This one, the Creator 3-in-1 Cat. Now the Creator 3-in-1 Animal series is among the most popular of the Creator sets, and this particular model is the most popular one on Amazon.com over the first month of its release. Now this actually is the first set we opened and started building in January, and we're excited to review it to determine if the cat is the best model, if this overall model is worth the hype, and if this really is a set that is fun for the whole family. Let's dive in. The box is relatively small, as you would expect from a set with 400 pieces that retails for $25 US, as the cat is playfully pawing at some yarn on the front of the box. On the right hand side, you can see the alternate builds of a pigeon and a puppy, and the top of the box shows all three models in as cute a way as possible, while the back tries to do the same. Inside the box are 3 numbered bags and 3 instruction manuals. The manuals correspond to the animal pictured on the front, and their pages are what you would expect, with light blue backgrounds and various advertisements. There are no stickers, as all of the eyepieces included here are printed. Our manuals came out of the box in good condition, but given how tightly the contents are packaged, there's no guarantee that if you got this set, it would be the same. In this review, we are going to show you all 3 of the builds, starting with the pigeon, moving to the puppy, and then ending on the cat. I want to give a quick shout out to my oldest daughter, Kiara, who built all 3 models for me. The pigeon is constructed by first putting together a core. Note the different snot techniques, whether modified bricks, brackets, ball joints, or even hinges down by the feet. While the inside is composed of multiple colors, magenta and teal plates are used to mimic the feathering on the neck. The hinges at the feet allow the pigeon to lean forward or backward. The ball joint at the neck allows for lateral movement. The tail is built with the studs on their sides and attaches to the pigeon's back. A couple of bow slopes are used at the tail, and various curved slopes are used to contour the wings. The end result is a compact bird that doesn't use a ton of the overall pieces, but is still an engaging build. You also want to note the various brackets on the head that enable a more curved top to the bird. The pigeon itself looks a bit stiff, but I think that represents the subject matter well. While the wings don't move and the creature can't walk, it does retain the ability to turn its head and lean forward and backward. Next up is the puppy, which definitely is a step up in terms of build complexity and creative parts usage. One thing that becomes apparent as you build the puppy is it is very much a unique build from the pigeon. Note how multiple ball joints are used, allowing you to attach the tail and legs, as curved and bow slopes create a smooth and streamlined shape. The use of double curved slopes on the paws is an effective technique at this scale, and the joints are fully posable, including the ears. The final product is certainly interesting, as the head seems a bit too big compared to the body, the legs a bit thin, and the eyes much too large. Still, those features add to the overall cuteness factor, as does the pink 2x2 rounded tile that is used as the tongue. You have the pouty eyes and the floppy ears that just make this adorable. The back of the puppy is a bit choppy, and the back of the head is too flat, and yet I think people are going to like this model. Perhaps the biggest drawback is that the bone isn't very realistic and adds little to the overall aesthetic. With 2 decent alternate models available, all attention now goes to the cat. While the alternate models start with the core of the body, the cat model starts with the accessories. First, there's the food dish, which is full of dry food. Then there's an azure mouse, complete with a pink nose and spindly black tail. Finally, you build a ball of reddish-orange yarn that fittingly has the end pulled out so that our main character can be adequately playful. I like the knot techniques used here. The loose strand is a bit too loose, though, in my opinion. Still, these little details add life and playability to the final product, as well as some useful slopes and modified bricks, especially in that new reddish-orange color. You next move on to the cat itself, starting with some white arches that were used for the puppy's bone that now serve as the cat's underside. Once again, we set up some snot pieces. bricks, brackets, and different types of ball joints. The myriad gray slopes are attached to add more lifelike curves as the tail and head are affixed to the ball joints. The tail looks very nice with the alternate light and dark blade pieces and then the white tip. The head construction is very complex. Here you can see the front and you can see the pieces going in all directions, including some flower stems for the whiskers. This shot of the incomplete back of the head shows you just how complex this build is, with some snot bricks, 1 by 1 2/3 snot plates, hinges, and brackets going every which way. The ears attach to the hinges, while the curved corner slopes make for a rather flat back to the head. The front legs use Technic pins to join the body, encased on 3 sides by bow slopes. There are 2 less than ideal aspects of the hind legs: their relative bulkiness and their inability to move from side to side. They only move forward and backward. The rest of the cat's joints are very posable, as the front legs can move multiple directions, as can all 4 paws, the tail, and the neck. The front legs aren't quite perfect though either, as they angle just slightly outward a bit from the body, but I wouldn't consider this a huge flaw. As with the puppy, the cat is adorable, suitably playful, and a lot of fun to build. It also, I think, does a good job of looking the part despite some of those flaws I mentioned earlier. When determining value, I like to unpack both the monetary and display value, but the reality is this is not a conventional display piece. If you have a lot of other Creator 3-in-1 animals, I think this would fit well on a shelf with them, and it might work well on an end table, but the reality is, unlike the medieval dragon, which I've got displayed right back here, terrorizing the Lion Knight's castle, this is really all about the playability and the pieces that it sends you. For kids, this is definitely going to be a playful set and they're going to enjoy playing with it. But in terms of pieces, I'm gonna give it a strong mark here. There are really cool pieces here, including the new eyes printed on boat studs used for both the puppy and the cat. You've got elbow bricks in light and dark blade that are new in those colors. You have 12 2x2 corner round slopes in light blade, which is a new color for that piece. This year, you've got 2x4 oval tiles in light blade for the first time, and all of those reddish orange slopes, inverted slopes, and elbow pieces are new in that color. Of course, on top of that, you have all these other useful plates, slopes, and tiles, primarily in grays and some in white. So while this set lacks the conventional display ability that we oftentimes see in sets reviewed on this channel, the reality is you get 407 pieces for $25, and these pieces are really good, and that strikes me as a very fair value, especially given that there are no minifigs included. So what is my verdict on this set? Well, first of all, I want to mention that these Creator 3-in-1 sets are popular for a reason. They really do provide good value and a lot of fun building techniques that can show people how to try different things in their own creations. I also believe that this is actually bigger and better than the sum of its parts. Yeah, the cat isn't very substantive, but there's so many cool pieces that that's where it derives a lot of its value. Now, there are some flaws to this set and really all of the builds, whether it's in terms of posability, the bulkiness of hind legs, the lack of proportionality that's correct, and some other minor things here and there. So it's certainly not a perfect set. And in terms of cats, of course, you could go upscale with the 18 plus set that's available for $100 US. That's gonna be more accurate and even more engaging of a build perhaps. But of course, this one at $25 does give you a nice affordable or more affordable option. So all told, I am going to give this one an 8 out of 10 bricks. I think it's something that you might actually be able to find on sale in the coming months and year, just because a lot of the Creator 3-in-1 sets end up on sale on Amazon.com. I certainly get a lot of alerts for those sets when they are discounted. So that's definitely something to look for if you are interested in getting this set. So are you planning on getting this one? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this review, and always remember to keep building together.